So we were speaking at this retreat quite a lot about before and after. So let's say the before is represented by awareness, yes? Nothing needs to start it or stop it. It doesn't continue or cease. It doesn't begin or end. So let's call that the before. And we would be, in this view, we're looking at that as of us. We are of that before. And then the mental state kicks in, and with that, time kicks in. And then the time kicks in, and that's the before and after. Yes. And this is very trippy because the before and after in time disguise the before of all time. The before of all time is, let's say, that timelessness. So here in time, the after can seem to be the before. And this is the trick of the thing that Ramana Maharshi, I feel, I'm just going to riff on it, presents with the presupposing of a non-existent thing, meaning a body, wanting to get to be the existing thing, which would be the before, The before is the existence, and the thing is after, So now suddenly the thing is seen as after, and it has the attributes of before. So if you listen to the language, when they're seeing, the sense is that it's you seeing. So you are the seeing, and that cannot be so, because that which is after cannot be before. And the great Zen master Huang Po put it well. He said, whatever can be perceived cannot be perceiving. So that which is perceiving is before, and that which is perceived is after. But in the mental addiction, that after is implied to be before. So everything starts at Paul and ends at Paul. Paul becomes the Alpha and Omega, and obviously that's a manufactured point. And now in that world, it becomes the before, and it experiences before and afters, yes? And yet it's an afterthought. So we were just hopping on that all week, because the thing is, the mental process that happens, the selfing, is pretty damn quick in time. And I don't think any process in time can get before that process. I do not believe the process of getting out of self is going to beat the sense of being in self. I just don't see it. So what's one to do? Well, see that instead of looking from it and being driven to constantly trying to get into what you're not out of and get out of what you're not in, you'll see those gymnastics from the before, the awareness where all thing comes from and goes to. So this after thing that Ramana talked about was the presupposing of this non-existent thing, wanting to get salvation for the non-existent thing. If that's the case, the spiritual practices themselves are reinforcing the non-existent thing. How can they destroy it? So you would hope the spiritual practices would destroy the obstacles that seem to be in your way to greeting or merging with that light. But in fact, the spiritual practices have been infected by the first process of selfing. So now there's going to be a claiming of being the doer of all those spiritual practices. And when that occurs, the spiritual practices that are meant to destroy it are reinforcing it, yes? So that process of selfing happens before all the other process we try to apply to sort of get out of self or to feel this or feel that. Every other process that comes after is infected by that which comes before. And he describes it, he doesn't describe or delineate that statement, but he shows the effect of your spiritual practices themselves, which are believed by many to be moving the obstruction, is actually reinforcing the obstruction. There you go. So I hope what happens is when you, as and after that thinks it's before has the rude awakening that it is an after, and it can't get out of what it's not in, and it can't get into what it's not out of. That determination doesn't come from its point of view. That comes from the before. Yeah. From the before, you are of that. There's no way you can be in it. You are of awareness. You can't get into awareness. Yeah. So the confusion is always after, and the clarity is brought about by the before. So you are what you're looking for. Yeah. You are. But you are not what you're looking for, that as that which is constantly looking. You're not that. So this is the futility of the message of non-duality that responds as a hallelujah instead of Jesus, I've got to try harder. I've got to move to another teacher. I got to make stronger vows or go become a monk in Thailand. No, it's quite disarming, because it's not that you have failed, it's failed. Yeah. It's failed from the get-go. Yeah, because the sense of self is infecting all the movements towards it or away from it, to the super self, the authentic self, the radical clear self, or the thief-like self, the egoic self, and stuff like that. Whatever movement there is, you're locked into something. Yeah. Because you're not seeing it, because the selfing is so fast. You start as the product of that process. You start as that. You're looking from it. You're looking from the process as if it's a real state. Yeah. And the only way you're going to be able to see it as not a real state is to see it from your true state, which you are seeing it all the time. Yet that seeing is getting claimed so quickly, it turns into a reinforcement of that which is looking. Yes. And then the looking is actually the blindness to your own nature. You're looking for it is blindness of it. Yeah. I don't know how clearly you can see it, but the before is what we're of. Like Jesus says, let's say Jesus, let's talk about the before and then the before and after. He describes the before and after, which is you're in this world. Yeah. And then he hits you with the negation of that from the before, but you're not of this world. There's the solution. Yes. The solution is not to be found in this world. The solution is what we're of. Yeah. Before time, before processes, before conditions change and get volatile and this and that. Before that, there's a condition that's conditionless. It doesn't get massaged by shit that happens. It's like the sky allowing everything that appears or moves through it, but it's never infected or touched by what moves through it. Yeah. The sky does not become a cloud, no matter how many clouds are appearing in it. It does not become, it always holds true to its nature, which is empty, which allows thousands of clouds to come and go. That allows 4th of July explosions, that allows planes to fly into it and shit like that. That's of its nature, which is allowing everything to happen. Yeah. But we're like a cloud, AKA sky, wanting to become the sky, but only as a cloud. Yeah. This is the fundamental, let's say, aberration that we speak of, and hopefully don't veer away from, and just stay on it, because if you don't see this, you're looking from it. If you don't see this before and after, and the manufactured before and after all this shit, if you don't see that, you're looking from it. Unbeknownst, yeah, you'll sit for 14 hours straight in deep silent meditation, and it won't become obvious you're not that. Who's sitting there? It won't, probably. Yeah. It actually feeds off of your wanting to get out of it. It feeds off of that. When you lose interest in the need to be liberated, that's the liberation. You're liberated from the conditions of what you're not and the demands based on those conditions of what you're not. You're liberated from them because you're not of it. Yeah, you don't become a super-sized segment of it. You're not of it. Yeah, you're not of it. That's the value, and that ofness never loses any of its natural of that quality. No matter how many times it's in this world running around, you're feeling shitty, you're feeling good, da da dee da da da. It never, nothing, none of the surface volatility affects us on that level. That's where the true relief arises from this place, not in this place. It appears in this place, but it's from ofness, I feel. Yeah. So we're just playing with something we understand, which is being before and after, to express the futility when that before and after is constantly being seen by a manufactured before, which is truly after. Because if you see selfing, selfing does not start with self. There's not a self and then there's selfing. There's selfing that implies a self. You see it? There is no self before the selfing. There's selfing, and then then something's implied, and then that self is presupposed to be before. It's a manufactured before. And now it thinks it's doing everything that it has very little to do with. Yeah. And what happens? You spring the trap, then you want to get out of the trap. Yet you are the trap by that point. Yes? How is the trap going to get out of the trap? How can self get out of self? It's already too late. It's already too late. If you recognize self as self, it's too late. You're going to try to get out of it as it. That's what happens. We discover that in recovery. After years of recovery, a statement came into the community that did not come from the big book of recovery, which was an observation: self can't get out of self. That's just the way it is. It can't get out of self. Well, I beg to differ. I'm a unique, special self. Okay, go ahead, because you're failing to get out of it. Someday is going to succeed, because it's going to tell you you can't get out of an imaginary place, nor as an imaginary thing. You can't. It's impossible. Yeah. So the assumption in non-duality is being ourselves reality. Would you believe that reality would imply that which is before all things? So being ourselves reality, that which is before all things, yes? We can see what's happening in time. Yeah. And that which takes time to establish, which says it's always been here, you'll see the making of a you will. And I hope, seeing that you're made up, you're going to lose interest in it. I hope. It won't. Yeah. See, if you try to lose interest in self as self, it doesn't lose interest. I'm telling you. But if you see it other than self or the selfing, you're going to lose interest in it. And what's going to happen? Who wants to describe that? You're going to find out. Yeah. You're going to find out what it means for you to travel lighter. You are. You're going to have an intimate book, day to day. Yeah. Who would want to describe that so that you end up having a concept of something before you meet it? Have you ever seen that when someone has told you about somebody and then you meet that person, you see it through those people's eyes that told you about them? Yeah. There's always a little bit of their view of that person. It's not a new meeting. It's not, this is the first time. It's been blurred. It's been affected already. Yeah. Why would you want to have concepts of the indescribable? Why not just find out? by recognizing the describable is not us. Yes. And then it's an adventure. Yeah. More gets revealed. And it's like you know how sometimes you believe something has happened and then it maybe stabilizes for a week or two, and then suddenly things, holes appear, rips appear. It's just, but this one, in my humble opinion, can be the last answer. Non-duality is a pristine understanding of the before and after from the true before. Yeah. And it can guide your vision away from the dualistic bent and see the dualism as the subject object of this experience you're having right now. You're not having it, you're seeing it. Yeah. And in that, seeing the dualism, you'll realize why you're looking at things in a dualistic way, because you're seeing from a dualistic way. You believe you're the subject and the object every other minute. Yeah. So I'm really happy to be back with you. And I'm going to be happy to be home soon. Before I lose any more stuff, which we've just noticed I've lost something today. So I'm traveling later for sure, involuntarily. So
heavier than your keys?
I lost more. I've lost a couple of things. I lost whatever. It may still be there. The place is closed, but we're leaving tomorrow. But we're gonna see. Yeah. But I'm happy to be here. If anyone has any share or they want to speak, I can go on with this because when I'm saying it, it seems very clear. So I'm hoping some of that translates to you hearing it.
Nor's here and he's got his hand up.
Eh?
Nor's here and he has his hand up.
Oh, I know. How are you?
Hi, Nor.
Hey, love y'all. Miss you, Paul.
Well, you're gonna hopefully be seeing me. You'll be the first person in America to see us.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll probably get sick of you soon enough, huh?
I think I'm. I grow on people. Yes.
You do. Yeah, yeah, like a really positive fungus. Lots of mycelium under the surface. Just a little fruiting body right there.
There you go. Yes, that's exactly right.
So, go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
So, we got the Day of the Dead coming up, and probably one of the
tomorrow.
Is it? Yeah, tomorrow and tomorrow, and today. And one of the things, this is just a language we got to use sometimes. One of the things I got that never seemed to leave back in 1984 was this thing that I'm not, cross-referenced with the thing I am, and the thing I am shine forth, and it was something like consciousness, might as well call it that. And that was the only thing that survived. It didn't survive because it was never born and could never die, right? So there was this incredible comfort and freedom that came with that. And even though admittedly it's only been tacit, it hasn't necessarily always shined through, it's been apparent since 84. Now, the question though I have, because I've heard you speak of this a number of times, is I feel like hypothetically that can't be the only thing. that survives death is that just simple consciousness. There is something still that hangs in there that is also kind of related to it and part of it, just like we're related to it and part of it. Now, you've always talked about death as being really this wonderful end. And I think that that's what we have to rest in. But there's also a sense of something continuous that is also related to this life. Now, you don't have to riff on that if you don't want to, but if you want to just riff on death, period, I would love to hear some of what you have to say about it.
Well, first of all, it's not a wonderful end because there's no end to that which doesn't begin. Yes? Yeah.
Right.
So it's like a bubble of attention and interest that's been blowing a little bit above the surface for 80 or 90 years, pops finally. Yes? As if it was never there to begin with. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. It had a very, 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 very weak body, let's say the membrane around the air pocket, yes, to give it the name of a bubble, but it was precarious from the beginning. And then inevitably it pops. And where do you see, was there a demise of the bubble? Not really. I mean, the bubble was 99.9% space. Yes. But if you were living with a bubble and taking yourself to be a bubble, and the only way you saw things as a bubble, and you were paying a lot of attention to bubbles all your life, yeah, that would give it an opaqueness and a meaning that it really didn't deserve. And this is where in the dreaming, you and I give everything all the meaning it has. We give a lot of meaning of weight to shit that's weightless, yes? We give a reality to appearances only, yeah? So there's a whole lot of shenanigans going on. And while meaning is being riffed on and thrown around, and then spotlights of interest and attention are falling on it, and then it's riding a wave of time and shit, it can take on a lot of appearances, yeah, to the dreaming, but it doesn't make it so, yeah. And so I don't believe death is an end. I don't know. Death is one experience. The one who has it isn't going to know it happened. Only other people are going to experience my death, yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it would take time to experience something that goes. If you're somehow connected to something goes, when it goes, that's it. There's no commentary after the fact, I don't think. But other people will experience our deaths, probably, yes? So because there'll still be a seeming bubble and going on with this whole activity, yeah. So, I had a chance to help a birth when I was younger with this lady, Fran. I won't give her a last name. She had gotten impregnated by a guy who wasn't interested in the baby. So I had told her that when it was time to give birth, I would be there to help her. And so she got in touch with me. I was up in New Hampshire at the time. She was down in Long Island. So I drove down, and she had a mattress on the floor, and we had a big mirror against the wall, and she was leaning against me with my back on the wall, so I could watch the baby come out, and I held her thighs, the energy of that space, yes, left an impression. And then years later, I witnessed the death of somebody. I wish, that raspy, one of the last breaths, yes? And the space in that room was the exact same space as the birth room. I mean, energetically, it felt exactly the same, yeah? Now, maybe if we think of doors, we think it's gonna be like a rectangular thing, but there's portals, obviously, that pop in and pop out. And now I never lost that feeling because, yeah, just obviously some things make impressions on you that last. They don't need to be deciphered or rewritten. You get their own language. It's a sense feltness. Yeah, but I feel that's how I feel about death, is just as birth, you know. Yeah. So what was that? What did Saint Francis say? You have to die to the self to be reborn. Yeah. So what would be dying to the self would be irrelevance, really. And irrelevance would be a loss of interest and attention on our end. Yeah. So to me, that's the dying of self, is a loss of interest and attention that's constantly being given to it. Yeah. Because it's presented as us. And as an unsuspected way, we live as if that's us. Therefore, it's attended to quite a lot in this event. What happens if you see it may not be you? You'll lose interest in it. Yeah. And what's the death of self to self's view is irrelevance. Yeah, it is. It's irrelevant. It will take both sides. As long as you show interest, it will present anything. Yeah. But when it really flips out is when you lose interest. Yeah, it does. It flips out. It usually throws a big conniption. And yeah, so to me, from the point of view of self-dying, that activity would be irrelevance, would be the death blow. And for us, to me, it's loss of interest and attention. And you don't lose interest and attention, you lose interest and attention in selfing. Yeah. And obviously, when you lose interest and attention in selfing, you're going to lose interest in self, because self is just a projection of us having faith in selfing. Really. It's our faith captured by selfing, which projects this idea of self. So when when you lose interest in the selfing, there's going to be a loss of interest in this product, which is self. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, you're reborn every moment, really. And every moment, the self is dying from lack of attention and interest. Yeah. Of course, there's no self to die, but it's the way I would describe those statements. Yeah. Yeah. There's no thing to die. So if you're waiting for a thing to die, you're probably going to beat it because you're going to die as a thing. So this way you sort of die to you sort of die to things. Yes. You come into a new relationship with things. You do, because as within, so without. Yeah. So if this is false evidence, how can you expect this to see false evidence as false evidence? It's going to see it as real because it's seeing this as real. Yeah. So it's just, I mean, false evidence is the attributing existence to the body. In other words, the body is doing the existing, which is not the case. Yeah. So that false evidence lends itself to fall for a lot of false evidence. And when it appears real and we believe it, have faith in it, consequences ensue. Yeah. 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 And so if you believe you're a thing and you have an ass, you're going to believe something can bite you in the ass. That's just the way it goes. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying it's going to completely disappear. It probably won't, but it will lose at least a few percentage points, and its impact will be lessened, which is part of traveling later. Yeah. Yeah. And when you're not reacting, you can actually respond in a clear way of seeing it. when you're constantly reacting from its little, oh, this is the end of all this, da, 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 da. Yeah, if it loves you to be at the point of reacting to it. It doesn't like you to see it, the activity. So when you start seeing it and not react, then it gets scared. Yeah. Then it brings out the big guns. You're never going to be loved, or you did something that cannot be forgiven, or whatever. So yeah. You can't even shout death to self because there is no self alive. Yeah. It's just like there's just movement of interest and attention, literally. You can see interest and attention as emphasis. Yes, you know what I mean? There's subtle movements that can change a picture without changing any of the colors in it. Yeah. It's just emphasis and interest and attention. And this is what shifts. And there's no way you could ever imagine what it's going to look like because you can only imagine it from a former point of view. And you can only see it as that point of view. You can't see it. So you can see it when it starts happening. Yeah. But you can't see it. You can't even envision it because it would be that failed system envisioning it. Yeah. 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 So futility reigns supreme. It's fantastic. Just fucking hallelujah. You're never going to get out of it because you're not in it. If you're not in it, you're wanting to become a superhuman person, you're just going to have a much lower level of enough. You're just going to be chilled out if you can just make this 11-hour flight with maybe an hour of sleeping or something. Yes, it'll be very different than every second must be put to a great use to make me bigger and better. No, you're gonna just give up on that. Yeah. You'll be disarmed. You'll have a lot of fun. Yeah. At other people's expense sometimes. You never know. All right, Noah, I'm happy to see you. Yes, we have a present for you, Noah. I hope it fits. Yes. We spent hours today looking for something. Nah, but a nice shirt.
Yeah. Why are you telling me?
Because I want to. I want to make sure he's on time at the end.
I was gonna say, so if he doesn't show up, he doesn't get the present.
I'm sweetening the pot. That's all.
I know. I should be early
already. All right.
Okay. Thanks.
Anyone else? Oh yeah, we have Andrew. Andrew, how are you, bro?
How you doing, man? Andrew, thanks for the message, man. I'm 72 days sober off heroin and cocaine. The most time I've ever had was a year last year, and I've been through this program for 8 years and been relapsing, and finally heard this message. Was relapsing while hearing this message for 4 months, but finally grace was extended enough for me to get that time and clarity. I read Ramesh's Who Cares? I watched a lot of your videos. It became very crystal clear and everything started to get reconfigured. It's just, there's moments of lucidity and knowing that really there's nothing going wrong and everything's rooted in what's not happening. Yet, it just seems like when I go about life, I don't know, I have a very crystal clear HD inner dialogue because I've always written since I was little, lyrics and stuff. So in my head, I would hear. So when I heard this message, you would say things like, this isn't you or whatever, but something in my head would say, no, well, this part of me is me because this voice sounds nice, or this one's more, compassionate. Yeah. But then I had to hear you finally say that everything that appears in here is just not you. And then suddenly I started to kind of detach from the whole idea of me, the idea of Andrew and that concept. And it started to kind of just fall apart. But I still notice that I get trapped in simulated conversations or just things I get taken by life. And then I think, oh, I should know better because I know the message and it's crystal clear to me. And But I don't know if it's just because because I don't know if you can riff on just being newly sober and hearing this message, I guess, because it's kind of difficult sometimes, but clear too. So it's just weird. I don't know. Thanks, man.
Well, thank you, bro. And also remember, in a sense, let your feet do the talking in the beginning of AA. Get commitments, participate as an action figure in the community of recovery. First and foremost, yes, seriously. Just getting, lift up chairs after meetings, just get involved, yes? First of all. Second of all, I didn't hear this message when I was newly sober. It was in there, but it was an unsuspected resource. It hadn't even come close to a message form, but there was something there. And sobriety itself allowed a lot of other things that would keep demanding my attention and interest to subside, so I could actually listen to this inner unsuspected resource. And it led me to recognizing that word self, as represented in recovery, was a foreign entity or an activity, yes? And as soon as I clearly saw that, the possibility of being free from it appeared. And then it revealed that I had been trying to be free as it most of my adult life, yes? Happened very quickly, but that for something to establish, it doesn't have to take time. So it was a very quick whack and it's established itself, yes? And then then I would just run into other places or people that would allow more understanding, so things could become clearer. And everything that I saw reinforced this idea that what has defeated me is foreign, yes? And in my situation, that was the essential view, because the self thing really, it's rooted in a lot of things, but being the doer it's one of its main roots. And without that loosening up, you would still have guilt and shame after 30 years of sobriety, because that which you did under the influence, your head would still have you sentenced as the guilty doer of it. Yeah. And that to me is the bondage of self. Yes. Yeah. So in the beginning, it's important to do yourself into these clearer states. Yes. Instead of believing the clearer states are going to change what you do. I would get into the right habits now. And habits are the whole thing in recovery, because the problem resides in the head's activity. Yes, it's a clear description in our book. And so a habit is an action without thought. So basically, you cut out the problem say in what you're going to do by getting into the habit of being sober. Yeah. So I'm just in the habit of being sober. I don't think about going to a meeting. I think which one. Yes, basically. Yeah. So I don't allow the problem to start advising about the solution. Yeah. Very, clear about it. So, the community is here to walk us through these times, because you're moving like from one plate tectonic to another plate tectonic. Yes, yes, things are shaking and moving. Yeah, they may not be fitting. You may be very advanced one level and be an imbecile on another topic, like relationships with other people. Yes, so there's a whole lot going on. And the important thing is not to get loaded, yes, no matter what. Not to get drunk, loaded, whatever it is that that you were up to, or your head was up to. Just, this is why I say for people in recovery, stay on the operating table. Don't get up, don't play doctor, and things are gonna go really well. Yes? And to me, in the action figure world, the view that has been adopted by the action figure is surrender, and belief in a power greater than it is doing for it what it can't do for itself. So do I completely believe that? No, but the action figure wears it well, and I don't care. Yes? It's working for the action figure. It's not going to get to the origins of its misery, because it is the origin of the misery. So it's best, I feel, for it to have an idea of surrender and believe something, however it pictures things, to be doing for you and I what we can't do for ourselves. Yeah, works. Been working for 35 years for the action figure. And while the action figure is busy, you can go off on other. Yeah. You're not going to use the action figure as the telescope to the before. It's not built for that. Yeah, it has its job. It can pick up chairs. It can sit next to somebody. It can answer a phone call. It can go on a 12-step call. It can do a lot of stuff. It can have empathy and compassion and be willing to be of service. But it has its limitations. Yeah. And yeah. So that's what I suggest. And I know it's difficult, especially if your head is powerful. That's one of the let's say you stop relying on drugs and shit like that, but the real addiction is to the head. Yeah. And so when you see that even the intelligence, no matter how high and clear it is, cannot get before that which is before. That which is studying cannot be studied. Yes. So when it gets placed in its rightful position, it can be very helpful, but it's not going to be the doctor that finds your inherent condition. Yes. It doesn't have the ability for that. Yeah. So you run into all this shit, just stay sober, get in the habit of being sober, and you'll go through all this stuff and things will streamline and you'll travel lighter as an action figure. But that's going to take some, mechanical upgrades. Yeah. You need a way of life, and AA has a beautiful way of life with sound principles, and the action figure can follow the unsuspected in resource as easy as it can the North Star, so the principles of AA allow it to fucking, travel the straight and narrow, which gets quite large. You end up being a free range action figure. Yeah, so stick with us, Andrew. Yeah. And we'll be doing the Tuesday, Thursday, starting Tuesday, unless something happens to us on the way home. But we're gonna have all the same schedule back on, starting Tuesday.
Cool. Thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome, brother. Yeah, I'm in your corner. No
and
problem.
actually, Kerry just found out that he's going to need to start getting hosts for the meetings again. So if he wants to get in touch with Kerry, maybe you can do the meeting.
Yes. Yep. You can do service at the meetings. We have hosts and co-hosts, and people let people in. It's just part of, one of the things that was really lacking in my action figure life was a sense of belonging. You know what I mean? I wasn't getting fed on a lot of levels I needed, and AA's community fed me. I had forgotten had no idea that a community and a sense of belonging and a purpose was sort of essential for this action figure to travel well. Yeah, and AA provided all of that and more, which is amazing.
Yeah,
Yes.
and in a way it did me too, but in like a rear view mirror, because this community has done that for me, but without, but the AA instruction, like, like we know, it's
Yeah.
weird instruction, and then it, you doesn't necessarily work. But in the rear view mirror, really realized, well, wow, that's what I'm doing with, keep coming back. I would go to the meetings without any, need to make myself. Of course, want to help out. All those things. Funny
You're
how,
living the program, bro. That's
I mean, but
the
it's
whole
funny,
point.
huh? How it, in a rear view mirror kind of way.
Yeah, well, any mirror can do. Yeah, yeah. No, I know. It's funny how something you thought about, you've been put in it for a while. The thinking hasn't caught up to your present tense condition. Yeah, yeah. I'm happy to see you all, everyone. I think anybody else?
No other hands up? No?
All
Anybody
right.
put
Well,
their hand up?
Oh, all right. I'm gonna start saying goodbye then. Yeah. Andrew, remember, yes. Listen, I'm gonna give you one of my ideas of the difference between an alcoholic and a recovered alcoholic, or let's say an addict and a recovered addict. The addict calls you after they use, the recovered addict calls you before they use. Yeah? Talk about before and after. What happens when you call after you use? Your possibilities have shrunk unbelievably, where you got to go to a meeting. Yeah? I mean, seriously. If you call before, you still have a field of possibilities. You're going to have a new day the next day. Yeah? Yeah. The genie won't be out of the bottle. Yes. See?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Stick with that. Call someone before. Here we're talking about the before and after. There's no huger place than in recovery, the before and after. Much, yeah. Because if you don't do the before, you're going to do the same after everyone has to do. It's just the way it goes. Yeah. Once that addiction takes you over, your possibilities are severely limited. If you're a real addict, it's not going to work out by taking a weekend vacation to the Poconos. It's not none of that shit's going to happen. Watching Requiem for a dream. I wish it was so easy. So, all right, thank you.
And you got a hand from Mike G.
Who?
Mike G.
Oh, Mike G. Where is he?
Hey, Paul. How are you, brother?
Hey, I'm
Right
good.
on.
I think.
All right. Cool. I just side note, my family's not too far away from where you guys went in Sicily. I think were you guys kind of close to Mount Etna
Yes.
at all? Yeah.
Yeah.
If I don't know, I was there when I was like 10 years old. You go up like some hill up in a mountain, and then my father's family, and they're still all there now. But
Wow.
very cool. Yeah.
They stopped us from doing a human sacrifice.
Lucky.
We had this girl, Maria, and we were going to throw her into the volcano.
Anyways, I just in hearing your last riff, I don't know. I've for 20 some odd years now, and I seem to finally be coming out of like a chronic sickness, and along with that, depression and whatnot. And it seems like from one point of view, the recovery steps are similar, because you become completely isolated, and then the head is like the God. And
Yes.
it's only in the last few years that I've realized that, I need to try to get out and participate in some way or form. And
Yeah.
I just noticed the very strong parallel between, chronic sickness and addiction. And I guess you could say chronic sickness is an addiction.
Well, it can be a field of it for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, of course, because the interest and tension is always going to go to pain and stuff. Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
So chronic pain is just produces a suffering played by time. Yes. You know what I mean? So a lot of notes get extended and stretched, and it can have a
Yeah.
field day. Yeah. You
And
got
it's
to get
funny.
like people with depression. If they like it or not, you got to get them out. They got to do something. See a dog or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just interesting as things seem to be getting better. It's just like a switch up of decoys, so to speak. Maybe
Yeah.
instead of like chronic headaches, now it's like this trippy body anxiety that just never, that just continues. And
But it's never, never. It just overrides when there's moments it's relaxed. It just doesn't remember that shit. The head
say
can, the head
say that
cannot
again?
do always or never. It's never that way. There's always a bright light throughout the day. Yeah.
The head cannot what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
The head cannot, it always speaks in never and always, but it's not the case. Yeah. It cannot, there's always going to be glimpses of clarity and light coming through the day. I saw a guy he said he was depressed all the time. So that night I saw him at a party, and at a moment I was looking at him, he was smiling, and I walked right up to him and I said, "Are you depressed now?" And of course he wasn't depressed all the time.
Yeah.
The story had I'm always depressed. No, you're not. It's not the case. This thing just slings words, absolutes, when it has no basis for it. Yeah, it's the faith in the thoughts that causes a lot of this shit. Yes, it's not it saying never. It's the faith in it saying never. Yeah.
And that's all I can say, right?
Hmm?
And that's what the head is going to say. It's always going to say that.
It's always going to say it, but see, you're the audience it's playing to. But the audience needs to participate a little bit. It has to say nay or yay in a sense. It's not a choice, it's a leaning. Yeah. You can't just let it keep establishing something that's not true over and over again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else is going to do it for you? You are at the point of awareness of all this stuff, and a lot of it's false evidence that if we don't rest in the awareness is going to appear real, and it's going to appear real to the head. That's what we need to see, is we're not the head that it appears real to. You're wasting time trying to convince the head to see the truth from the false when it's looking from a false evidence. Yeah. But what you are can see it. Yeah. And therefore, the never doesn't have its old effect when what's always sees it as not never, because we are always. Yeah. And so when it's saying always and never, and it's talking about absolutes, we're the absolute. Yeah. We're the absolute. Reality is the absolute. It's got to chime in, not swallow this shit all day. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, right on. It's true. I've seen, we may have a lot of thoughts about what we are and what we're not, but there is a lot of power where we are. And that power is being directed, and a lot of it's being directed by the head. Yes? And the Course in Miracles describes it pretty well. It says, you and I are dreaming this dreaming. We forget that. And I believe it's by the act of being identified as the dreamt. You forget you're the dreaming. We forget that. And now we give everything we're dreaming the power to affect us. Yes? Yeah, there you go. So it's saying always and never doesn't produce the effect. It's our power in it saying always and never. Makes it feel like it's going to be forever, always. Yeah? It can't make that feeling. We make the feeling. Yeah. Yes. That's what, I'm just reporting in what I've seen. Yeah. That's how I see it.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
I agree. And after,
yeah, look at it.
know,
Look at it.
after 20 years of this non-duality game, I'm on the last 2 or so, I've really noticed how for years I've been using it as a complete escape.
Well, you haven't, once again. The head has. And then it's pinned that as you, but it isn't you. The head has used non-duality as a form of escape. It always does that. Some people grow out of it quicker than others, but it always does it.
Yeah. And then finally it had to be a good year and a half ago or so. I finally got it. That like, wow, it's like,
yeah, wow.
It's apples and oranges. I just, how do I say? I don't know how to explain it right now. Like,
you don't have to try to explain.
I'm not the one that's going to get it.
No, you're not.
Yeah. And then everything started to loosen.
The one that most needs it never is going to get it. Yeah. The one that most needs it, never going to get it. See?
Meaning, what I meant was, I'm not going to get it as what I think I am as this action figure.
That's right. So
that's
the thing that needs it the most is the action figure.
Yeah.
That thinks it's the action figure. It's not going to get
I realize the action figure isn't the one that remedies any of it, so to speak.
The action figure expresses, and then there's observation through it. Yes. But I'm happy to see you, Mike, and I'm happy that maybe we went by one of your family members without knowing.
Maybe. Oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of like. It's a trip.
What's your last name?
What's what? My last name is Duality.
Oh, Duality. Oh,
yeah. They have freaking signs out there with my name on it. Seriously, 3 signs. Hey, Duality Street. It's crazy.
Well, next we go, we're gonna have to talk to you.
Right on, man.
Yeah, maybe you can hook us up with some Duality over there.
And lots more food.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you've had plenty, man.
Plenty. That's how they tell time here. Lunch, dinner, lunch, dinner, lunch, dinner, lunch, dinner. That's basically it.
So, I forgot. I was a little kid. Do they do siestas in Italy? That's just Spain.
Not anymore.
No, not anymore.
What a drag.
Busy.
They take a break from 2 to 4.
That's a siesta.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, every day, most most of them take a break 2 to 4. Yeah,
Yeah, it just
nice,
seems so
nice.
wild.
Stevens?
We did it. Well, listen, bro, I'm happy to see you from the LA days, and I'm happy it's working out great. And I'm
Thank you,
happy to get from the chronic condition. That's awesome. Yeah,
Thank you, dude.
yeah, you're welcome. Anyone else there, Kerry, or who's ever running the boat here? Mike?
No other hands stepped. Did Maria, would she have willingly sacrificed? Was she willing to be sacrificed?
She said she would,
Cool.
yeah, but then I didn't see her for a few days. So, because there was a certain size, there was only a certain size in this one hole, and Maria was the only one who would fit it. So that's why. It wasn't any other reason why we chose it.
Mm.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. It was just practicality. Yeah. Whatever it worked, it didn't break the bad demon curse that was on.
Oh gosh.
I'm gonna have to fight in a bare knuckle to the death, I think. All right. So listen, I want to say goodbye to everyone. Gary C., you're looking more chipper every time. Yes?
Yeah, thanks, Paul. I'm looking forward to you being back. We could get together somehow. Maybe you could come visit sometime.
Yes, I want to when I get back there. Yes, it's on an agenda, doing something on Auburn, and we'll stop in Placerville. Yeah,
That'd be great.
yeah.
You'd be welcome.
Yeah, it'll be great. All right, we've got Marty. Nice to see Marty. Wi-Fi, you got to give me a little bit of I'm in a grace period here. We don't have our connection here. So we got Gio from down from the old Brazil. What's happening, Gio? You resurrected.
Yeah, I just resurrected.
All right, it's a
Nice
pleasure.
to see you.
Yes.
Nice meeting.
Yes,
Great.
good to see you, my friend. Tariq from Dover. There he is. We've got Esther. Esther's feeling fine. Very good. Sleeping well. Yes, very good. I'll be seeing you more often, I hope, Esther, now that we're coming back. All right? Yeah. We got Elam. Nice to see you, my friend. Thank you for the attention and interest. Yes. Sherry, as always, she was one of the beleaguered retreatants.
She and Alan look healthy.
We all made it, Sherry. Yeah. Nice to see you. All's well?
Yes. Yeah, nice to see you. Everything's great. Just a little jet lag.
Just remember that bus, the laughing on the bus.
Oh yeah. I did. I have remembered that.
That will last us a lifetime.
and the pizza joint as well. There was some laughter there that was pretty I like to remember.
Yeah. Good, health. Yes. Good to see you, honey. I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Live, hopefully.
Yeah, it'll come up. Okay, bye.
Yeah. All right, Chris H. John K. There he is. John, formerly known as Jed, is here. Nice to see you, bro. Alan was there. Pleasure to see Alan and his lovely wife. Yeah. I saw he was terribly disappointed to finally meet Paul Hedderman alive, but hey, that's okay. I've seen that effect before. Oh, we got Wendy. Wendy, nice to see you. I hope you heard some of that other stuff. Yeah. Oh, you did. Good. Good. Jacob and Alex, my Hudson Valley duo. There they are. Nice to see both of you. Yes. Hey, I may come up there in November, just to Dover, New Jersey. I'm not going to go anywhere else. Just 4 days maybe in Dover. It's not that far from you guys. We'll come down.
I've done it before, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we'll do that. Everyone will know, but I'll let you guys know. All
What?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dana, nice to see you, Dana. You got you got a hairdo and everything, eh?
Yeah,
Cut some of the stuff off.
you cut it
You-
way too short.
No, it didn't. You look very, very hip at the moment. Yes. This is a look I've seen in Italy quite a lot. Yeah, it's looking good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There's Shannon Corkery. Yes. A week without saying the name Shannon Corkery is not a good week for me. So there she is. Nice to see you, Shannon. Norman, my man. I'll see you soon. Now I have to go out quickly and buy you a shirt. We'll have to look for one in Milan. All right, David B. Yes. All he wanted was not to be in jail and in the hospital when I first met him, and he's been having a pretty long term of no jail and no hospital. Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. Akila from Arizona. I'm always happy to see her. Let me see if I can get to the next page.
There's
I can't.
another
Right.
survivor.
Oh, there's Mia.
Oh, Mia, where's Mia? Oh, Mia.
Are you in Greece now?
Hi, yeah, Jim's sleeping, so I'm being very quiet, but beautiful
Jim's
sunshine.
sleeping at
Good to
least
see
20
everyone. Yeah, that's so good. Thank you.
All right, honey. We'll stay in touch. We'll see you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Amelia says hello. And Jessie, our friend from Ireland. She made it? Yes, obviously. Good. Very good. All right, we got oh, that's nice. Gregor from Berlin. Don't make it your last time, Gregor. Come on over. Come to the Zoom. Yeah? Yeah. Yes. Roman, another one. There he is. Roman, can you see him?
Yeah, I can see him.
Roman, my main man. Yes. You doing all right? Yeah. Sean sort of got whacked with whatever can be perceived cannot be perceiving. Carry on, my friend. Yeah. Oliver, these little nuggets are the gift that keep on giving. Yes. It's like sucking a lozenge for forever. The best Ricola you'll ever run into. Oliver from Berlin. Oliver, next time if I'm in Europe, you're gonna have to come. Yeah. Break yourself away from Berlin and come down to Italy. All right, we got Kelly in Wisconsin. There she is. Nice to see you, honey. Regina S. Holly. Zoe. Zoe in Arkansas. Lynn D. A cloud is but a cloud. All glory to the sky. Yes. Cassandra. You haven't forgotten us. That's nice because we haven't forgotten you, honey.
Oh,
No.
great. Glad to be back, and you guys have a safe trip home.
Yes, let's just say quick. We're looking for quick also.
Quick is good.
And don't lose anything more.
Oh, I know. We'll see what happens. Sometimes I lose shit I forgot completely about it. I don't even know I've lost it. Yeah, that's the state I'm in at the moment. All right, Andre, Grateful Dave, Holly, Lynn. I think Kathy from Cleveland. Nice to see you, Kathy. Very good, soaking it up. It's allowing you to travel a little lighter, Kathy, eh? Yes, fantastic. Isn't that nice? Just the contact with us and you travel a little lighter, and so do we. Not bad. Yeah. All right. I think that's it for tonight. Signing off for the last time.
See you, Paul.
from
Thanks, Paul.
Biscara.
Thanks, Paul.
Happy
Thanks,
Day of the
Paul.
Dead to everybody.
Thank you. Bon voyage.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
So everything
Thanks,
starts
Paul.
on Tuesday. Yes.
Thanks,
See you guys.
Paul.
Have a
See you
nice
all.
and travel home.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.